Well, where are we?
Well, scuba diving.
Here we are on top of Hypoxia City. We're looking for sea turtles.
I see a turtle.
What is it? The telescopes are behind us.
And
These
what?
underwater coral formations are beautiful. Smooth, white.
And you're trying to tell me that that mountain across the way is 13,000 feet?
Well, it's actually a little kept secret. This is the peak. Look, it's got this little.
You know, I don't know if I feel comfortable hitchhiking here.
Well, it's not a lot of traffic
There
coming
isn't
up.
very much traffic.
I was here on a holiday when there was.
And I would be willing to drive.
Would you?
Yeah.
God.
Well, I'm not even so sure I'm willing to fly from here yet. So
I think I am.
you think you'd try it?
I think I don't. I mean, I think from the air stand point of view, it's okay, and I think from the landing on the apron point of view, it's okay. And I think the question is just whether you can make it. And I think if you can't, it's at worst a few-hour hike over to the road, and that's at worst.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if it would be an all-day thing to try to come back up here, and maybe not even get here until dark tonight when.
There's the poo where we were about an hour ago looking for a launch, and we decided that it was too shallow going out this way. So now we've parked on the road and hiked about 20 minutes.
To the beach.
We've hiked about 20 minutes out to another poo, and I'm looking out at Mauna Loa in the saddle right now, and that notch down there measures out to about a 5-to-1 on my homemade inclinometer.
Where we're headed for?
No, I can't even guess.
Is it down? It's out there somewhere, huh?
Yeah. You can see a road down there.
Sure can.
Can you sight the road with that inclinometer?
Yeah, that's gonna be about. Well, wait a minute. Let me sight it this way. Well, the road's really about the same. It really is about the same, right?
Yeah, there's another poo, and then the summit area with a couple of telescopes on top, and we drove up there and looked around, but it seemed too far back for any glide ratio. So here we are. Mauna Kea launch.
What? Yeah.
The altitude here, 12,750 according to my altimeter, and it's about 10:26 Hawaii time. That's 12:26 Portland time. What was that, John?
Let's just check each other's harnesses before we go.
Good idea. 12,750 is a ways up here. Could somebody like me could be a little hypoxic. So Pete's the first one laid out, and he's clearing lines. He's going to launch out over this bench and shoot for that notch right down there. And the LZ we're going to go for is probably a little bit off to the right, maybe off in that direction, right about out there. We've done a harness check on Pete. A nice wall built. Wind's real light right now, a couple miles an hour, but we've got it up to about 12 miles an hour on one cycle that sustained for about a minute probably. So Pete's going to wait for a little more wind, and then he's going to punch off and see if he can clear that bench. And unless there's a significant crosswind and he has to crab, he probably should be able to make it based on our calculations.
Lots of wind blowing our way once we get a lot lower.
5.1 glide ratio calculations, he should be able to make it. I get out of breath just standing here.
Have a good ride. Whoa!
Came up a little crooked, but he straightened it out and he's off. So far, glide angle does not look too good, but he's gaining on the bench. Looking good. I'd say he's got it. He's still quite away from the edge of the bench, but his wing seems to have got enough glide ratio to clear it now. Zoomed in all the way. He's moving fast. Tina says, look where his shadow is. I can't quite make it out. Boy, he's right on the edge of making it over the bench there. Not a tremendous amount of clearance, but it's still looking good. There's the perspective on the situation, zoomed out about halfway. And I think he's got it. So I'm going to turn this thing off and go launch myself. Well, I've launched and landed on the bench. I'm, let's see, I'm over 1,000 feet below where I launched, so it's about 1,125, 35 feet. Looking back up at launch now, looks like I just barely didn't have the glide ratio to make it out here on the fly air. Fell about 100 yards short of making it over the edge, it looks like. Someone just walked closer to the edge and I waved to him to indicate I'm okay since I don't have a radio on right now. And but I think I still see somebody laid out on launch there, so that's probably either Tina or John, and they're probably going to take off soon, and I imagine they will have the glide ratio to make it since Pete did. What I'm probably going to do is head over to this next ridge over here. It's across a little ravine, and if I can get out on the edge of that ridge, probably right out about there, I can get a pretty nice steep shot straight down to the LZ, which I'm looking at right down there now. And Pete, I believe, has landed. You can't really see him. Well, he's so far away through the camera, but I thought I saw a speck on the ground. So looks like Pete's made it. I'm going to relaunch, and there's 2 more pilots as yet. Here's John Goldberg. He also landed on the bench and hiked over to see if I was okay.
Defeated but not down.
So we're going to cross the ravine and head right on out that point there. See if we can find a launch. If not, we're going to traverse back to the road and get back to the car.